Hello, we're all here to talk about Dark Season 1. We're only going to talk about things that happen up to the end of Season 1 and nothing else because Ben hates editing.
Yes.
And if anyone spoils, he's going to have to do some editing. Where he puts the sound effect over that goes...
I'll just throw the whole episode out and we'll do it again.
I think he's joking. We've done that before.
For all those Twin Peaks episodes.
But the first thing I kind of want to explain before we get started, just for context, is how much everybody has seen of Dark before, because there's several of us that have seen it a few times. But we also have a newbie. So Cassandra is the first to introduce. You're watching it for the first time.
Yes. Am I the only one watching it for the first time?
Well, I was hoping to get some others in who hadn't seen it at all. But
okay.
We're kind of doing this on our Discord where we're talking about things in a chat channel after each episode. Doing it a couple times a week, almost sort of like a book club kind of thing.
Yeah. So everyone's laughing at me.
No,
Cass, I remember very little of what happens. I have technically seen it all once, but I possibly overheard parts of it more times. But I don't remember a lot. Hence my questions in the channel. Most of them are genuine questions that I do not know the answers to.
And most of them are door related.
A lot of them are door related. Now that I know there's more than one door.
Now, Katie has seen up to the end of season 1 before. Did you get into 2 at all?
No.
No.
I didn't ever start 2. So.
Oh, so Cass has caught up to you.
Yeah.
And then Nelly, who's hiding as Hamish the cat at the moment.
Excellent.
I thought about doing that with my background. Well,
that's adorable.
Yeah. I mean,
That's
I
really
think the
cute.
internet needs to know she made that yesterday and today.
Oh
It's
my
impressive.
God.
I finished
That's
the whole
amazing.
beanie thing yesterday, and then it took me all like this afternoon to put the ears and the eyes and the nose on.
It's very nice.
that's excellent. I can't wait to see Ben's costume.
What?
So, Nelly, you have seen to the end of season 2 before, right?
I think so. We'll soon see if I feel like that I've repeated stuff. I tried finding out the conversation that I was pretty much consisted of me saying things to Ben and Ben saying yes. That's great.
In a previous chat channel.
Yeah, in my signal history, but I don't know, in having moved from the new phone recently, I've lost all of it. So yeah.
Yep. And then
But it's been a while.
I've seen it all the way through once, and then when Sian was watching it the first time, I saw season 1 and 2 a second time. So I remember much more of that and not a lot of season 3. Like the main points, definitely, but it's going to be pretty interesting watching that again. And then we have Lee, whose camera is not working for me, at least. Welcome.
Hi.
You've seen it a few times, right?
I've seen the whole thing once, and think this is probably the 3rd time I've watched season 1. But I also spent a lot of the time watching season 1 also reading the wiki. So I'm feeling pretty solid on it. Not all of it is from watching it. Some of it is just from scouring the dark wiki.
I thought you were going to say the dark web then, yeah.
Like, how do we access this? Yeah.
Well, that's where it comes from.
Yeah. And
then Ben, who likes to push dark on people.
I am the pusher of this group. I've watched it. This is probably my 4th or 5th time watching the entire thing. And I love it. Love everything about it. I can't wait for you guys who haven't seen season 2 to watch season 2. If you think it's good now, whew, gee willikers.
I hate it.
Ben is well practiced at having other people talk about the show and watch the show and not giving away too much, not letting things slip. So wait till he does it shortly on camera accidentally. So we're not going to do like a recap like we had done with our previous Twin Peaks. We're just going to sort of talk about a few characters and a few sort of major reveals and things, I think, from season 1. And I know this sort of like puts a little bit of extra pressure on you, Cass, as the newbie, given that you haven't sort of had any of the rest spoiled for you. Whereas, and Katie, actually, if you for some reason I thought you were into season 2.
No, I got
Maybe I'll
COVID.
start with you, Katie. Like you had seen it all before, but you basically watched it all in a day, was it?
Yeah.
During the week.
Yesterday.
What was it like?
Day.
Getting it all at once.
It was a lot to have all at once. It's not really a binging show.
No.
I want to watch continuous. Like I'd watch a couple of episodes, but I don't want to do 10 in a row. But I had forgotten a lot of things. And I
found that too.
Because I had watched it previously, I watched it with the English dub.
You silly duffer. You silly duffer.
But I didn't want to read. I just wanted to watch this time round.
And Sian was rewatching it recently, in the last week too, but she didn't have as much time, so she was watching it at 1.5 speed.
Also, the 2 episodes I watched on the plane, I basically just had subtitles because I couldn't hear anything.
Oh gosh.
In my headphones, like I had the headphones on, they were connected to the iPad, but at full volume, the plane was louder. So.
Oh my god.
Not the optimal experience, but you mostly knew it, right? And you don't forget things or get faces mixed up between different people.
It's not the Sian I know, no.
You can name all the characters right now for us, Sian, right? And how they're related.
Oh, good, because Ben set up a test for later.
I think these ones look a lot more different from each other than the Twin Peaks people.
Completely agree. We're not stuck in a early 90s American town where it's predominantly white old males.
You know who's
everyone doesn't have the same haircut.
You know whose name I always forget? Bartosz.
Yes,
really?
me too.
I always forget his name.
He's just a little snivel.
Oh, see? This is what I was telling you about.
Deserve to be forgotten.
Nelly's a big
maybe we go
Bartosz
through
hater.
some of the characters, and I'm particularly interested in what I guess Cass and Katie think, given that they haven't seen any more. But maybe we'll start with Ulrich. What do we think about Ulrich?
I hate him. I hate him. That's not his name. His name is Cheetah Murder Dad. Cop.
Husband.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, to be fair, some of his actions can be defended as doing anything for his kid. But he goes pretty far with those.
I don't think he's doing it for his kid, though. I think he's doing it for himself because he feels guilty because he's been off being the worst person in the world while his kid was taken. I just think it's all to do with himself and his own ego. Like
being guilt.
Would you say he was canoodling?
He was somewhat canoodling. Yeah,
more than a canoodle.
Yeah,
we did see boobs.
I think there was some canoodling.
I bet he wouldn't have been canoodling if Hannah hadn't lied 33 years ago about the rape accusation.
Yeah.
Curious
Really
though, that
how...
Well, or if he knew about it more, like he'd probably still be canoodling, whether she lied or not. But if he knew that it was her who'd done it, no.
And they must have got married like before they had kids, because for Jonas and the other Michael. Yeah, So Michael and Hannah to have a child that is Jonas's age, who is the same age as Katharina and Ulrich's child as well. Like Hannah, middle child. There's quite a few years, because how old is Michael and Hannah when they first meet?
Pretty young.
Ulrich and Katharina are sexually active.
I think they say 11. I think
they do say it in that dark.
I think Mikkel says he's 11. When Inez asks him how old he is, I swear it's 11.
Yeah, I think you might be right.
The wiki up. Should I get the wiki up?
In terms of it being
I don't
33
want
years
spoilies.
later, like they were basically all in their mid-30s when they had kids.
That would have been awful if you'd pulled the wiki out right then and just spoiled yourself. Because we're doing a video.
Oh, this is what's happening.
Nope, don't do it.
Have you been finding the website that you can use to sort of to click through to exactly where you're up to?
I actually think it's really good. Yeah, it's really good, but it's just, my brain isn't great. I'm much better, instead of knowing a person's name, knowing like, okay, this is your one identifiable feature. You're like for Ulrich.
Like
it's
Cheetah
Dad.
Yeah.
Eye Patch Man. Who else?
I did like seeing, Cass, that you were really intrigued about Eye Patch Man, because I remember the first time I watched it, I was obsessed, going, "What? Where is his eye? Like, what is happening? Who is he?"
Nothing in the show is for no reason. So it's like every time you see someone pop up with like, a funny hat or like a bright yellow raincoat or an eye patch, it's like it's either going to be explained or that person is going to get like murdered at some point, and that'll be the only like how you identify their body.
I'm definitely going to do predictions at the end, but do we want to get an early prediction in for Woller? Is that how you say it?
Yes.
Eye Patch Man?
I think it was just like an accident with the photocopier.
That was a real accident.
Wow, I don't want to get any of that photocopier.
Surely he knows Noah, right? Is that...
Does he?
Noah?
He's working with the nuclear plant to hide the barrels. That's what we know.
Yes, sorry.
Right.
Yes.
So maybe you got radiation in his eye.
I thought that he was maybe... So my big question, my overarching thing is Erik. So Erik, I don't actually know if they confirmed that was Erik's body that they found, the red-haired body.
I just always assumed the red-haired kid was Erik, but I don't know if that's
I think the assumption is that it is him.
But, okay, so Erik then, in that case, is the only kid taken from the present, right?
Nope.
And then oh no, there was another one, right?
The little deaf boy.
So is he taking them from the present and then taking them through the tunnels, through the time to get to the 80s room? Because you see Erik in the 80s room.
Yep.
So I'm like, is he time traveling with these kids, or like and how? Because those are some small ass tunnels. So yeah, I'm like, where the hell? Like how is he getting these kids through these tunnels?
Yeah. I think it's TARDIS shenanigans myself, but anyway.
My answer to that one is what happened at the very last episode with Jonas and Helge. My thought was that was how it was happening.
Well, yeah, but he needs to get the kids to the 80s, because we know that in the present the bunker looks like a bunker. It doesn't look like the 80s room, right? And the 80s room is where the awful machine thing is. Unless the awful machine thing is in a different location currently, and then they use it and then dump the body.
Gee, these are good questions, aren't they?
Yeah, sorry, Ben and I are just going to be annoying, not even smiling.
The bunker is right above the doors.
80s, I always thought. So that's why.
Yeah, the bunker with the chair is in the 80s, I think.
But in the past. I don't know. I don't
like
time
so
travel.
If kids from the present are being taken and then they have to go through the tunnels to get to the past, to get to the bunker in the past, which has
I don't think they
the machine.
Do, because the bunker is right above the intersection where they do the time traveling. So I think every time someone goes through the tunnel, it activates in the bunker above. So they were able to like move bodies across that way.
But they still have to get to that room, that version of the room. So we see Erik in that room. So he has to go through the tunnel to get to the past, to get to that room. And then he sits in the chair, he's zapped, and then the zapping creates the void that gets him back to the present as a dead body.
Because they all know the times and the dates that people are going to go through the tunnel, if that makes sense. So they know when there'll be available timey movie stuff, surely.
Oh, I'm loving this so much.
Also, that machine, does it go over their eyes?
That's what's burning their faces off, yeah.
So, Eye Patch Man.
Oh, do you reckon they
saying.
tried it on him?
Just saying.
I thought that he was the one who's maybe taken Erik for Noah because it looked like a fresh eye patch situation. But now that it seems like he's more in cahoots with the power plant than Noah.
Like if the machine is designed to move live people from one time to another.
But I don't think it's successfully
they're successfully taking people to the 80s to do it. So something's working.
They're going through the tunnel. So they must be.
So why do they need the machine?
Well, didn't we see? Was it someone's body plopped through when someone activated the tunnel underneath? Someone's body from the past appeared in the present with their eyes burned out. So I'm pretty sure that's how they're moving the body.
The
deaf kid.
Mads.
No, that was Mads.
It was Mads.
Oh, that's right. It was Mads.
Was
and then it was Tronte or someone that moved the body.
Yeah,
oh, yes, because,
So they activated it by using Mads.
I think it's activated multiple ways.
Yeah, so they activate it by using Mads, and it did a time thingy, I think, in all the timelines, and that's how Helge got to the 80s room from the past, and Jonas got to the future. Like, so everybody kind of came forward one,
I think
right?
Helge...
Because Mads came to the present.
Yeah. But I think it can go every which way. Whenever anyone activates underneath and they're doing the experiment in the 80s at the same time, it kind of opens a three-way kind of tunnel for them kind of thing.
Yeah, it opens in every 33, every 33 thing. And in this case, everybody moved forward one. Because Helge came to the 80s. Whoever was in the 80s went to the present. Mads, whose body was being used to activate it. So he died and came through to the present. And at the same time, Jonas moved forward, right? I don't know.
Maybe not, but I think pretty similar.
No. The Mads thing happened, like, at the start.
Oh, yeah.
Someone mentions the stranger, who we know who that is now, I'm pretty sure, mentions that they can only go 33 years into the past and 33 years into the future. But how come, and this only just came to me now, how come Ulrich went back 66 years?
Those are good questions.
He took the different tunnel. So Ulrich took the left tunnel. If you go to the right tunnel, that's 33 years in the past.
Yeah, Ulrich went to the past tunnel twice. If that makes sense. So he went into the past, and then when he went back into the tunnel, he took the past one as well.
So now you're telling me there's more than one tunnel as well as more than one door.
I thought there was just one tunnel.
Yeah, they go through that first door thing, and then there's a split, and the boys went down the right.
Yes, and Ulrich
Mikkel
went
and Jonas went right. Ulrich went
left.
Right. So right is the
future, left is the past.
Yeah, something like that. I'm already confused.
And I'm pretty sure that
Jonas went forward 66 years as well.
Yeah,
Jonas was in the 80s room. Jonas was locked in the 80s room with the 80s machine.
But because he was swapping with Helge, who
was further in the past.
Yeah, so maybe it was just the nature of the distance between them then pushed him the other opposite way. I don't know.
Jonas wasn't in the tunnel.
Yeah,
they were both in the bunker.
Back in the
He was in the bunker.
Yeah.
But back in normal time, present.
Yep.
And then the dude showed up and
because he shut him up.
He was locked in the 80s room.
Well, he was locked in the present 80s room, the bunker, yeah.
Yeah,
What?
He wasn't in. He was locked in the bunker first, and then it turned into the 80s room when the hole opened up.
Well, because I'm gonna clear some stuff up here.
Without ruining.
Just be careful.
The bunker and the 80s room, we understand, right? These are the same room. You guys understand that, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
And when it has childish wallpaper, it's in the 80s.
80s.
Yeah.
And when Charlotte finds it in the current time, underneath, she's just finding a remnant of what was there.
Yeah, okay. All right.
I
And
do know what you mean, though, Sian. After Jonas got captured by Noah, he came to in the wallpaper room.
Yes.
What? Were they
But
two
he was in the
different
80s.
Yes.
Because one Jonas got caught.
oh, that's right.
by
Sorry,
Noah,
yes.
And the other Jonas was present day Jonas, who was in the present time. He's the one who went forward 33 years. And other Jonas, who was caught by Noah.
Come on, you can do it, Katie. You can do it. Come on.
is now in when I start rocking and tears start coming, I can't. Was I only just watched this episode yesterday at like 5 o'clock. I should remember it.
Part of the reason I don't remember these things is because I don't want to think this hard about them, so I just don't. And then it's like a surprise every time.
I think this hard about it while watching it, and then you ask questions, and I'm like, wait a minute. Hang on a second. So, when Jonas was captured by Noah, what time was he in?
80s.
Yes.
Because he's gone back to get Mikkel.
But how was he in the 80s and present day?
No, he wasn't
yes,
in
he
the present
He wasn't
day.
in the present.
In the
He was in
hospital.
the 80s.
He'd
Wasn't
gone
he in-
back. He'd gone back to
He's
go to the
been back
hospital.
a couple of times now.
But, so when he's locked in the room, I thought he locked himself in the room as the stranger. Because the stranger said...
Noah put him there, but the stranger
the
rocked up to
visited.
give him information, and he was like begging the stranger to let him out, and the stranger was like, "Nah, bro, can't do that, because then I won't turn out
Exact
this
words.
awesome."
In German? Nah, bro.
Yeah. Nah, bro.
While we're talking about that moment, Kath, I really want to ask you, like, you definitely had like a lot of theories along the way as we were doing episode by episode. I can't quite remember all the bits you said and when you said them, but when we get to this moment when the stranger sort of reveals himself as older Jonas, did you already have that well established in your brain by then, or was it?
I thought
Or was it still just a theory and a surprise?
It wasn't well established, because to me, the stranger doesn't look 33 years older than Jonas. I was like, that would put him like pretty much in his 50s, and he doesn't look like he's in his 50s. But earlier in the episode, when Inez sat down with Jonas and gave him the letter, and the letter didn't look crappy.
So you've got to understand, though, that the older Jonas we're seeing is not necessarily 33 years older, because remember, he's the one that's doing all the time travel.
Right.
He does say you will keep this letter for almost 33 years.
Okay.
Yeah, I think he's supposed to be.
Yeah, and when Inez like gives him the letter, and then I'm like, oh, okay, so then he gets it again off of the stranger, so he must like, and this is Inez giving it to Jonas. So I was like, okay, well, he gives it back to himself.
The other thing about the machine that H.G. Tannhaus creates, albeit with blueprints that were somehow made from the machine that didn't exist until he got... Anyway.
Chicken and egg, yep.
Yes.
I assume that machine gives you the power to travel to other times that are not 33 years. Or at least that you can adjust it like a week or so here and there, or a few days or whatever. I don't know if that's true or not, but otherwise, like, why not just use the caves?
So I've just been looking up the actor who plays the stranger / older Jonas is currently 56 years old.
Wow.
So he
was a good moisturizer.
He was 48. Like when they...
Yeah, that works.
Yeah,
he's 48. So he's basically only a year or two off.
He doesn't look the same, like he's the same age as like the other older people. Anyway, but yeah, that's what threw me off, was more that he didn't look like he was 33 years older.
I'm pretty sure in one of the episode threads, like in around about episode 7 or something, you suggested that they could be the same person?
Oh yeah, I mean, like I think I've suggested at this point that
A lot of
every
things.
like-aged person. So my current theory is that Bartosz turns into Noah. Which I got at the end of that when they were sitting in the back of the car together having their little chat. It looked like he was like, I mean, he's obviously trying to bring him on board, but I was like, why? You know, like apart from the fact that his dad owns the nuclear plant.
And
like,
also that it's his grandmother who's also jumping around in time as well. I think Noah's more trying to use him.
Right.
See, I
okay.
thought
They do both have square heads, though.
replace Helge. Find a
Sorry?
new Helge to
Oh.
help him. Because
Yeah.
Helge is
because Helge's got
old.
doubts. Yeah. And older
also,
Helge's trying to kill young Helge.
Yeah.
Well,
I love
Helge
that
was
Sian's.
driving one of the cars.
I love that Sian's takeaway is that they both have square heads.
So they could be the same person, or they could be just like they like each other because they look similar.
So I've got a question for you. So the first time that Noah and Bartosz meet, at least the first time for Bartosz, Noah knows him.
No one knows a lot of things.
Phone, haven't they?
Yeah.
No one knows everybody. It's not really.
And it's like a drug deal gone wrong.
Yeah, Bartosz
So-
thought it was Erik's drug dealer, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
That's why he had the phone.
Yeah.
I want to ask, do you think you immediately clocked when we saw Noah in a different time period looking exactly the same, or did that come about later?
Yeah, no, it was straight away. I was like, this guy
And what
looks
did you
the
think?
same.
Hot stuff. I mean,
No, no.
Nice tattoo on the back.
Nelly, get a
Square
tissue
head.
for the drool.
yeah.
Did you think Noah was hot before you saw his back?
No,
I
absolutely
found
not.
him
It's really the
attractive.
back. I'm kidding.
It's all about the back, or was it about the fact that he was just doing chores?
And glistening.
I don't find Noah attractive at all.
Yeah.
Okay,
Sorry,
so who do you
I
find
think you're
attractive
fine.
then, Katie?
I
That
think
hot
the
mama
stranger
from the
looking.
past.
Oh, Agnes.
Yeah.
Yeah, got a point.
The one who I'm pretty sure is a prostitute. Or I get that vibe from her.
A lady
In
of the
her red
night.
dress when everybody else is wearing neutral colours.
She's just sophisticated from the city.
Yeah,
Katie.
she's a sophisticated.
That's what
city
everyone
woman.
in Munich's doing.
I do have a question because I couldn't figure out who it was. In one of the later episodes, there's a kid in, I think it's in the 50 time
Is
period,
it Tronte with
that
his
has
cigarette
burn
burn?
marks.
Tronte.
Yes, okay, that was Tronte. Yeah, okay. Then I definitely think she is into some kind of sex work.
I reckon she's
Because
some kind of
because of the
cultish
cigarette.
thing.
I think
Well-
doesn't she say that her husband was a religious leader of some type? Because I was like, oh my god, she was married to Noah, which means that her son, who is Tronte, right, is Ulrich's dad, and therefore Mikkel's grandfather, which means that
Oh, it's too much.
Noah is which means that Noah is their like they're descended from Noah.
More to the point, does it mean Noah was burning him with cigarettes and that's why they left?
Ooh. Was that the kid who had the burns?
Yeah, that was
Tronte
the
was
beautiful
the-
lady's child.
Yeah.
They turn up in town.
Right.
She's left her husband,
Yes.
the preacher.
She
And Tronte's
says
got
she's
cigarette
left
burns.
her husband.
Wow,
For some
Nelly is
reason, I
very
thought that was
untrusting.
another character.
Nelly
Well,
won't have
I'm-
Noah's name besmirched, I have you.
No, but she's just very suspicious in
Noah's a
herself.
horrible person, Nelly.
Yeah.
We'll allow a lot of moral repugnance if a guy's hot.
But also, Agnes is immediately hitting on what's his name, the policeman's wife and stuff as
Egon.
well. Like clearly, Egon clearly wants to feather her nest. So yeah,
I've forgotten her name now.
Egon's
Her
wife.
nest is great.
What was her name?
Is
Doris.
it like
Doris.
Doris.
Thank you.
Doris, yeah.
Thank you very much.
All right, what about Claudia? Tell me about Claudia.
The boss lady.
She's too busy to raise Regina.
I'm sure.
I
she's
can't
a
wait
bit
to
different.
see what led to obviously there's a massive change in her. And I'm just excited to see sort of what happens along the way, I guess.
Is it because she gets her dog back?
It does help.
Helge, what was Helge doing? I know you're a little kid. I know you were put out. Don't do that to the dog.
Well, he didn't know the dog was going to time travel. He threw a stick into the cave. Gretchen runs in after the stick.
Okay.
Gretchen doesn't come out again until 33 years later.
How did Gretchen get the flipping doors open?
She's got paws.
Gretchen's got paws, you know.
That's true. They built
heavy doors with a giant wind on the other side.
Put the doors in.
Can't wait for you to see the spin-off that's all about Gretchen.
That's what he was doing with the kid with all the names who ends up being Alexander, who ends up marrying Regina. Isn't that what he's doing towards the end of
He welds the door shut at one point, yeah.
Yeah, but it was in the
Maybe
cave.
The door was always open.
That's the time travel doors, though, that the dog has to get through. Like, how does the dog get
presuming
through?
it just followed someone through, and they were just like, "Oh, whatever. Here's a dog."
Someone did go through at the same time.
It's not like they go through and come out a different cave exit, though. Like, they go in the cave, then they come out the cave, the same hole. The dog just did that.
So would you say that there's really only one tunnel?
Well, there's a tunnel in each.
No, there's just a tunnel.
But would you say all of the tunnels are the same tunnel, or would you say that there are 3 tunnels?
They're the same tunnel.
That's too many details.
Yeah.
There's
so
like
the same.
The juncture.
Not.
Yeah. So there's a 3-way juncture. And you're always coming from the one in the cave to then go past or future.
Is that how it goes? Okay.
And then you're always coming out of the same cave. Well, that's how I have it in my head. And it works.
Yeah.
If you're coming from a certain direction, I guess, yeah.
If you're never coming back, right. So you couldn't go back through the tunnel, like and then like go around and take the other one. Like you always go straight through the tunnel. Oh, that's going to break my brain.
Let me draw a picture of what I think it's representing.
Keeping in mind, Nelly, that there is only one tunnel. Okay?
Yeah, there is only one tunnel.
Does the tunnel fork? Like you guys were saying before, there's a left and a right?
Yeah, they sit in the juncture where there's 2.
But what they're saying is no matter, like, every time somebody goes through the tunnel, whether they're in the past, the future, the present, they always come to that juncture. Yep. So they always go into the cave, come up to the juncture, and then take either left or right, no matter where they are.
Okay, Nelly, I'm going to blow your mind. So in the first time that Jonas goes into the tunnel, he goes right and goes to the past.
Okay, we'll switch them around. But either way, every time you go into the tunnel, you're still coming back out the original tunnel.
And Ulrich,
but there is a juncture.
Ulrich does go a different way to the way that we see Jonas go.
Yeah.
And
maybe I'm just getting the direction wrong.
And Helge.
Let me find it.
So I love Claudia. She's one of my favorite characters.
What do we think about?
I mean, we're going to see a lot more of it later.
And I also like
about the oldest Claudia.
I also like. Sorry, just still on Claudia. I also like Regina.
Well, that's actually now on Regina, not on Claudia.
Sorry. So yeah, what do you guys think about the older Claudia?
How did you know that was the older Claudia in that episode? Was it just the hair?
Doesn't she? I think she says it.
Yeah, she says it. She tells Bartosz that she's her
grandma.
that she's Claudia.
Oh, I think before that, like when we just see her in the basement, the bunker, looking at the photos on the wall.
I didn't know who she was at that point.
Sian asked me at the end of episode 9, before she introduced herself to Bartosz. She said, "Oh, hang on, how did Cass know that was her?" I think I just
my notes. I mean, they look like it's an incredible casting choice, which the whole thing is an incredible casting choice. But
yeah,
let me see. Where's my notes? What did I say?
But they had just shown us the murder board wall, so maybe it was the photos.
I think that's partly the answer, because I'm pretty sure you do see them side by side in the pictures before.
Yeah, you do.
You see, yeah.
Oh, I said 80s boss lady is old lady.
You were very confident about it. I was like, well, how do you know?
Have you, Cass, gone back and looked at the opening scenes from episode 1?
No, and I'm desperate to.
you should do that after this. Just the first, I don't know, 3 minutes.
It's like lots of photos on the wall, right? Because I remember watching it the first time and being like, okay, whatever. I had no idea who anyone was.
That's exactly the same as me. And Ben's like, wow, they just... And we were sitting on the couch with both Mikkel and Ben for the first episode where Katie and I were watching for the first time. And I believe it was Mikkel said that, yes, they do give it quite a bit away in the first one. And I'm like, are they?
What?
Yeah, we were just like, wow, they say so much in like the first few minutes of this show. You just don't know what you're looking at the first time you watch it.
Exactly, yeah.
All right, as we go. Yeah, go on.
Mikkel, I was just going to ponder out loud, why does Mikkel actually kill himself? Does he have to do it for the timeline to make sense or work or something? Or does he know he's about to go missing and he doesn't want to witness that? Or is it a personal reason? She knows about the affair. If Hannah was even sleeping with Cheetah Cop before, I'm really interested to see what the reason is.
Was that it was all too much for him? It probably
Older Jonas says, "A life for a life."
Oh, that's true. He does say that.
See, initially I'm sort of thinking it's one of those paradox things where you can't be in the same timeline, at the same time. But that's clearly not true in this particular version of time travel. Because you can sit there right next to yourself and talk to yourself. Yeah. And that's not creating any paradoxes somehow.
Or try to kill yourself with a car. Run into yourself.
Well, Helge was half successful.
Yep.
Just the wrong half.
Yeah, unfortunately. There was another thought I had, but I think it's gone now.
Well, do we think Helge is evil or just brain damaged?
Brainwashed as hell. I mean, I'm assuming now he spends some time in the 80s with Noah, and Noah somewhat raises him for a while before maybe he's the first person to successfully time travel without losing his eyes or something like that. And he obviously gets back to the past. But yeah.
But I said brain damage, not I think Ulrich maybe actually damaged his brain, not just because I don't know. He always seems a bit slow. But then he does apparently successfully go off and find a woman to have a child with. So.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if any of the way that he's ever acted, as a mid-30s person, has been particularly. He's more shy and reclusive than brain damage is what I would have thought. I don't know.
And his mum seemed abusive, so it kind of fits his.
She's lovely. His mum. She's a real nice person.
Oh yeah.
She needs a "I'm a nice person" shirt.
When does Uranus first go through the tunnel? I'm struggling to find it.
About episode 3, I think.
Was it? No, I think it was later than that.
No, 5.
Yeah.
5? Oh, wow, okay.
Because I remember we were talking about when he finally goes and sees Mikkel in the past and wants to take him back, and then...
Yeah, I always think it's earlier than it is. I always think that scene at the hospital, outside the hospital, where he's seeing Mikkel is in about episode 5, but it's 7.
Yeah.
All right. How about some other characters? How about Hannah? She's a dear, isn't she?
Evil.
She is.
She's come on, guys.
Really
she's just misunderstood. She's got magic powers.
Mm-hmm.
Her motives are very clear. She is incredibly selfish and wants what she wants, and she doesn't care who's hurt in the process.
Yeah.
And from a very young age as well.
Yeah.
It's not like that's just adult Hannah who's been scorned or something. She is or horrible
like
human
that.
form. Yeah.
Yeah.
So you're saying she was born this way?
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm just going to interject with quotes from songs or the whole night.
Thanks, Michael. Ben, what's your face? It's just... Thanks.
It's okay, Katie. I mean, Nelly.
I found it interesting that Jonas, like, when he was yelling at Inez, he was like, my mum is fucking my grandfather. And I was like, okay, so he knows about that. And so was it going... like, I'm still... House. Well, yeah, but, like, he climbed out the window.
Yeah.
I mean, he's either perceptive or I don't know, like, was it part, like, I would really like to know if it was going on before the dad died, because the dad's only been dead for 2 months and she's like happily shagging this guy, and yet Jonas's relationship with his mum seems to be fine. There is one thing that this show is missing, and it's like camaraderie. Like, nobody's talking to each other, so I don't actually know what anyone's thinking or feeling. Like, they're clearly freaked out, and the actors are doing a really good job of like kind of conveying like being upset or like scared or whatever, but like you don't actually get that like dialogue like that, like no one's communicating, so it's like, oh my god, I just need 2 people to start talking to each other so I know what they're thinking and where they want to go next. And like,
if Peter and Charlotte would just have a conversation, they'd really get each other out.
She's always hanging up on him.
Yeah.
She's
which is not at all like that. In the first episode, it seems like it's a Stranger Things, like they're all getting around on their BMX bikes, a whole bunch of kids just hanging out together, like it's going to be a teen drama, and then it doesn't turn out to be that at all.
No, everyone's having a solo adventure, and
I first heard about Dark when it was promoted to me as after I'd watched season 1 of Stranger Things. Oh, it's a darker Stranger Things, and I was just I'll watch this, and I'm like, this is nothing like Stranger Things.
Yeah.
What did you think about the scene with Jonas and his auntie Martha, where she's sort of almost like trying to get back with him?
When
awkward.
Mine's just blown.
Oh my god.
Horny teenagers.
He obviously really liked her, and then he finds out it's his aunt. That's so cruel.
Yeah.
What do we think about Martha?
Nothing. She hasn't done anything worth thinking about.
Yeah, I feel like she's just a teenager that's lost her little brother and doesn't understand why a guy that she really liked didn't talk to her for so many months, because he didn't tell her that he was suffering from PTSD from his dad's killing himself, and
he's in a play.
Yeah, and then she's like, the next closest friend's better than nothing. I'll hang out with him.
Bartosz, he's great. Yep. I actually really like
her. She sounds like a teenager, to be honest.
Martha's just sort of the love interest then, or?
I think
I like her. Oh my god, is she going to be someone else? Is she going to be someone else?
like Woller?
Maybe
she's Claudia.
So are you like just honing in that this is someone? Oh no.
What have you done, Michael? What have you done?
You've broken Katie.
I like her character.
She's Agnes.
I love the play. That I thought that was really well executed.
Yeah, no, that was pretty cool.
I don't understand how Ulrich and what's the mum's name? Katharina had a normal child.
So what about Katharina? What do we think about Katharina?
Hang on, my computer's having a meltdown. Carry on.
Okay.
I felt like I go on a bit of a journey with her. Cause I sort of don't love her in the beginning, and then you see her as a teen, and she's sort of not very nice to Hannah, and like
Regina.
But she goes through a lot as well.
I'm sympathetic, but
come from a broken home, but that's not another reason as an adult to punch the living daylights out of Regina, even though she's taunting you for good reason.
She wasn't in a good place when that happened. Oh,
I loved that.
Oh, listen to this Regina hater over here.
It wasn't that I don't like Regina, but Regina, like, could not have been nastier in that moment. And like that woman is going through hell on earth right now. Like everyone knows that Mikkel is missing. And then the other thing is obviously like that she wouldn't have known is that, you know, the whole Hannah Ulrich thing is happening as well. So the woman's world is crumbling.
I think she knew
and
that.
Then Regina is just a fucking bitch about it. Like
I think Regina knew
Really
about
cares about
Ulrich
herself.
and Hannah because she
Oh,
alluded
really?
to it in that bit.
Yeah.
But I think Regina is justified because for all these years, Katharina
She's been
and
bullied.
Ulrich have assumed it was
Yeah.
her that dogged
And they
them in
bullied
for
her,
the rape kind of
Tied her
thing.
to
So,
a
yeah.
tree or whatever that was.
Yeah, but
And
before
she's going through.
before she even accused anyone of rape, they'd already tied her to a tree and left her there in the forest.
I thought that was after the
I think it was after.
accusation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, it was?
Yeah.
Okay.
That
So
would be
they-
really mean.
No, they thought that she did the rape accusation as revenge because they had tied her to a tree.
Oh.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Oh, okay. I missed
Ah.
that sequence of events. Thank you.
Yeah, I didn't realize
Why
that
are
at
they
all.
doing it?
She was so traumatized that she had to get Mads to walk her home through the woods. And so she was the last person to see Mads alive.
Yeah, that's right.
And
Why were
the
they
reason
tying
that
her to a
she
tree?
needed him to walk her home was because she was too scared to be in the woods where she'd been tied to a tree all night. And so then when Ulrich goes to jail, they were like, oh, well, it must have been Regina because obviously she would want to get us back for the time that we
Hannah
tied
said it
her to
wasn't
a
her.
tree, left her for dead in the middle of the woods overnight.
Also because
So-
Hannah said it was probably
Yeah, Hannah
Regina.
says.
Yes.
Yeah.
But that was the reason they believed that is,
Yes.
well, like, she had a reason to do that because they were horrible to her.
Why
But
do they
Regina was
like
stupid
Hannah
for
more than
eyes, so-
Regina? I don't get that.
Because Hannah's not wearing glasses and Regina is.
Oh.
Yeah, I was
Yeah,
going
and
to
they're
say
just-
Regina's the
they're
uncool kid,
bullies.
and they're
Yeah.
the cool kids who pick on everybody.
Has Katie's video frozen for everyone else as well?
Yeah.
Okay. just
Stephen,
checking.
you're
Oh,
all freezing.
yes.
I don't know if you can hear me, so I know that I'm
You're
freezing.
stuck like this, Katie.
We can hear you. You're muted, Michael.
You just look down in the dumps like Regina. And we've
Sorry, go.
yeah, go on. I was just going to ask about Jonas next. We talked about it a bit and about the stranger. What do we think is next for Jonas?
Really finding himself.
Literally or
Figuratively?
figuratively?
What did you think about the final scene?
Getting eaten
who
up
do
by
we think that
future
lady
people.
is? Hmm.
Well, I think that in the future, the time travel situation might have been worked out properly because they were like, oh, welcome to the future. So obviously it's a common enough thing that people are coming through there that they know about it. So maybe it's actually been like weaponized or something in the future. Is it I couldn't tell if it was a nuclear disaster, like the plant had gone, or if it was like an apocalypse situation.
It
It
seems
is-
very Mad Max.
Yeah, it is sort of
As I
left
say
that.
about a movie I've never seen.
It is sort of left that way to be ambiguous at the time. So, but you'll see.
I'm presuming
But-
that's what we'll find out season 1. Episode 1, season 2.
Well, they talk about building like that the time jump thing is from making a black hole. Well, the black hole is how we got there, isn't it? Yeah. So
And Noah suggests that Jonas is actually the one who creates it in trying to destroy it.
yes, he does. So, I mean, the black hole could potentially do more than just like time travel. Maybe it's
No, it's fine.
can
It's
be
just a very small
weaponized.
one.
Well, in one of them, in one of the timelines, that it was like a dome that went over the whole
Yes.
city. Was that the present?
Yes.
And it was-
so
'cause
it
it
wasn't
was,
a dome. It was a circle, and it went above and below ground. Hence,
Right. So a
the cave.
sphere.
Mm.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, because that was it was Bartosz's parents were in the car, right? And they kind of like stopped and looked at it as it was forming. So it was huge in that one place, but then it was like quite small where Noah was in the tunnel. So obviously it's had big ramifications in one of the timelines, but like done what he maybe wanted it to do in the timeline he was in.
I also think Noah's wrong. I don't think it was Jonas who.
Oh, sorry, Jonas.
Because for you to start, I think you have to be outside the group that's constantly in the loop. Because I would have think that the action of it becoming caught a specific group in the loop, if that makes sense.
Okay.
And that it was someone outside that started it, I think.
Like H.J. Townhouse?
Possibly.
Who never time travels.
Because he's not moving between times and stuff, but he is a knowledgeable person on time stuff.
That's because someone gave him a book that he'd written from the future.
Yeah, and also
so he didn't even have to write
mobile
it.
phone. That's to help charge stuff as well. So yeah.
Can we talk about the life and travels of the time machine box?
Oh, how it came back to itself that he'd created, and yeah, I think that's the chicken and the egg thing for that timeline stuff.
And we see. I honestly can't remember. I've watched this so many times, but it's hard for me to keep track of this. I might just ping you, Michael, just to check with you.
Oh, you're not about to make a mistake because you don't want to do any editing, Ben.
No, I definitely don't want to edit.
But that box, is it a time travel box? Like, is it doing anything intentional, or is it just creating a little black hole that if you happen to do that where the tunnels are, it like activates the time travel thing?
There's so many dials on it. You must be able to control it to a fair extent.
Doesn't it create the same effect as the black hole?
That's what I would
have thought. But they take it to the bloody tunnel. Like, just walk through the tunnel.
I think he's wanting to make that black hole that he creates with that interact with the other time fissure or whatever it is that is created when you go through. Maybe he's thinking that they're just going to implode on each other or something.
He wanted to destroy it.
It's two separate reactions. Yeah, so I think by him bringing in that reaction to the other reaction, he's hoping they both, like, what is it? Cancel each other out or something?
Also, remember, he needed to put the cesium in the time machine for it to work.
Mm-hmm.
Which is the contaminated...
What the hell is the cesium?
He took it from the truck that had the nuclear barrels that they were hiding when the cops were searching for Mikkel.
No, the barrels were yellow,
we presume
but the
is
cesium
waste?
is black.
Cesium
I don't think it's waste.
It is nuclear waste.
It was a byproduct of whatever little
accident
the accident
episode they had. Yep.
Yes.
Well, they talked about how it was just a small leak. I assumed that the barrels just were being produced continuously up until the present day.
Well, I wasn't, because
they had a
really
small
running out of
leak.
space by then.
And I thought the small leak in the first place is what created the time fissure, if you like. But then he went and got some more deliberately to put into the little machine to make more of the time thing.
Yeah. And
Ben
again,
is not going to say what he was going to say.
What came first kind of thing. Yeah. Was the timey-wimey there before the nuclear event? Or
nothing came first. It all just came at the same time and no time at all.
Huh.
This is too late at the night to be thinking so hard about things.
That hurt me.
Well, maybe we should just do what predictions have we got for the future? Like first of all, some predictions that you think are actually going to happen, but then maybe come up with some wild predictions. Go big time.
I can't say anything here.
Hannah's forming the Third Reich. I don't know. Sorry, reforming.
I think I said I predict that the kid who knocked Jonas out when he first comes through is his daughter.
Cool.
I think they're going to space, and that's why they went to the future.
The final frontier.
We already saw a spaceship, or at least a drone.
Who does he have a daughter with?
I thought it was a drone.
Jonas. Or maybe it's Martha.
Yeah,
it's a full Daenerys situation. Hey, maybe Martha's real, like maybe Katharina had an affair and Martha isn't actually like related to him, so it's fine.
And that's why she's normal.
I really
Relatively
like
cool.
that you're desperately trying to find a way for Marta to not be Jonas's aunt.
That's why the whole show exists, Ben, so that Jonas can try and work that out as well.
What do we think about Franziska and Charlotte? Oh, not Charlotte. God, I forgot her name all of a sudden.
Elizabeth.
Fuck that girl.
Elizabeth. She's taking advantage. Well, Elizabeth is taking advantage of her disability, I feel, with other people.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
Just a bit manipulative.
Charlotte and Peter, we haven't even talked about them. I just think
they need to talk to each other first.
Yeah.
Before have a conversation afterwards.
But like Charlotte knows now that Ulrich has time traveled.
But does she really? Does she believe him?
Well, she's seen the photo of him in the newspaper
in
from
the
the past.
Yeah.
So now she knows that's what's happened to him, and
she must have some idea of that potentiality, being that whose father she has. His townhouse is her father, isn't it?
Her adoptive father.
Yeah, adoptive father.
Okay.
So the first time we saw Charlotte in the series, she was walking along the forest path and found a dead bird and picked it up, and then she sketched it.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm guessing that the assumption is that this is one of the birds that has died because of the whole time thing.
Timey-wimey.
She's been collecting info for a long time.
So she's finally getting some things connecting to each other, you reckon?
I reckon she's more likely to believe something's going on than not. That's what I reckon anyway.
That checks out.
Yeah, I think she's all over it now. I liked that they actually showed us what happened in the bunker with Peter and
Tronte.
And Carol, 80s boss lady.
Claudia.
Yeah.
Claudia, yeah. I liked that they showed us that little scene because it was that explains a lot, but it also shows that at least Peter wasn't there for nefarious reasons, I guess.
So what's old Claudia's deal then?
Oh, she's on the side of dark, like Noah said.
Yeah, because Noah's the good guy in this show.
I can't take you seriously when you're looking at me like that, Katie.
Oh, have I still not moved?
No.
No.
You failed on mine, yeah.
Maybe if you turn it off and turn it on again.
Yeah, just do the old IT crowd.
Yeah. Claudia, what is she doing? I don't know, but
for one
I
thing,
can't
she
wait
at least
to find
tries
out.
to do the right thing about when she figures out the numbers are wrong about the nuclear, and he's like, "Oh well, that's just we had a little accident. It's fine. Don't worry about it." Like at least she was trying to do the right thing there.
And keep it hidden.
Until it became obvious that it was in her best interest not to.
And she hired that guy to go.
Who then married her daughter.
Yeah, and becomes
I think
CEO
their
or whatever.
Actually, is the better of all of them. I think
it's actually quite touching, isn't it? Because
Yeah.
you go into it thinking, oh yeah, here's the slimy, rich, awful people, and we're gonna hate them, and they're gonna be so materialistic or whatever. But he's like that episode where you find out that she's got breast cancer, and he's like, I love you, and I'm here to support you.
Yeah.
That was so amazing, and it was really interesting actually, because of course bias comes into it, and you think, oh, I'm going to hate this guy, and then it just totally flips your perception of him because he's actually quite a caring partner.
Well, everybody thinks the nuclear power plant boss is always the monster for some reason.
Weird, hey.
But I was really happy during that scene as well. But just because, finally, Regina's got something really good.
Good, yeah.
I mean, have you seen Regina's fucking house? She's fine.
Yeah, but they did raise Bartosz, so you know, Are you happy with your life?
I don't know if they actually did raise Bartosz. Have you seen him?
Has Bartosz done anything to really
He
draw
just
our
comes
ire,
across to
though?
me as like a teenager, the self-interested teenager. Yeah.
He
He's
got
no
with his best
different to the
friend's
rest of
girl
them.
while his best friend was off getting mental health treatment.
Yeah,
but, apart
he's a
from
great
that,
friend. Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, did he know about...
Yeah, he was the only one that knew
he's
where
the one who
Jonas
knew.
had been.
No, but did he know about
Yes.
Jonas and Marta?
Yep.
Oh, he found out in the end, yes.
No, he knew beforehand.
Yeah.
No, I mean, like,
he knew
did
they
he
were
know
dating
that
beforehand.
they were dating, and then, yeah.
Yep. There was a question actually I wanted to ask. I know we're on to predictions. Sorry, Michael.
It's fine. It's just rough.
I just wanted to ask if you guys want to share anything that surprised you while you were or anything that happened that you felt was unexpected.
I think I've got a note that says, holy shit, holy shit, holy shit. Now let me just try to figure out why.
Was that when Hannah was making the accusation?
There's a few Hannah things, definitely.
That was, yeah.
One
I
was,
think...
that's why Michael killed himself because of you, basically, or he wanted to get away or something like that. And it was like, oh my gosh.
What about you, Nelly? Did you have anything?
No, because this second time round, I don't think there was. Maybe next season there'd be more.
Without going into specifics, were there things because you do have quite a good memory for definitely a certain type of memory. Were there some things because you would have remembered Michael, for example. Like were there some things that when you watched again you went, oh.
Oh, always. Like nearly every single time we see the murder wall, I'm like, oh, that makes so much sense. Yes. Oh, I can clearly see it now, kind of thing. Yeah, all those kind of connections. And then I think the first time that they finished that episode with seeing themselves and their older selves next to each other, kind of thing, that was a revelation the first time round, and the second time round it's like, it clearly,
like when the stranger tells Jonas, your father saved my life.
Is that when they're sitting on the bench?
No.
Yeah.
Oh, is it? Was that it?
Yeah, at the grave.
Oh yeah, sorry.
Yeah.
Your father.
I didn't remember that bit, and then I hadn't remembered how manipulative Hannah was as well.
Oh wow,
Just
Katie's having a real hard time now.
That pins into the Hannah voodoo doll even more.
I think I think that episode is it episode 10 where it starts with Peter in the bunker and then Helge comes through and then calls Tronte and then Claudia shows up. I was like,
like when Mads's body comes through, then he
yeah. And I was just like, oh my god, like, okay, like 3 things just got explained at once. So that was a really cool scene. And then Claudia's like, oh, I'm going to explain everything. And then I'm black.
Do we think that when Mads's body arrived in the bunker, that Tronte realized that's my grandson?
That's why Peter called him, isn't it?
That's his son.
That's his son.
Peter found the ID that said Mads Nielsen called Tronte. It's like, I've got your dead son in the bunker.
But like, I assume Tronte was
cries.
involved. Otherwise, you wouldn't have called him, right? You'd just be like, here's another body we've got to hide.
No, he comes through the rift, and then Peter checks his ID, and it has his name on it. So then he calls Tronte, and he comes down, and then sees that it's Mads, and then Claudia rocks up. So obviously, and Claudia says,
so you don't think Peter's involved?
No, he wasn't involved. He dropped through the.
Peter has been creepy as hell the entire show, and now you're like, he just innocently was sitting in the bunker for no reason.
He was
Peter and
in the episode. He got there from he went there because he was upset because he almost went to the sex worker, and then he was like slapping himself on the face, and then the rift opened up and Mads popped through. So he called Helge, and then Claudia rocks up and says, "We need to take Mads to where he is to be found." So it's Claudia's idea to move the body and to put it wherever, and then Tronte and Peter must do it, but she has to explain why. So they actually have all the answers.
Peter is not involved in this. Why is he just like, sure, we'll just dump this body in the woods then, now that I've called his father to come and see it?
Yeah,
well, he's having a total mental breakdown about it and trying to tell his fucking wife, the police chief, and she keeps hanging up on him.
But there is previous connection that both Peter and Tronte have been working from a book or something that has dates in it or whatever.
I thought Claudia gave that to them.
Yeah, Claudia gave that to them.
Yeah, but then who dumped... Erik's body was in the past. No. Whose body is the first one we find? It was Mads, wasn't it?
Yep.
In the current.
Yeah.
Okay. And it was them that then did that. Okay, yeah, no, that makes sense.
Okay.
And then it was, it must have been Claudia that told them all the other dates and whatnot.
So if Claudia tells them we have to move Mads's body to where it's going to be found, she knows already something about what's going to happen.
Oh, she knows that Ulrich is going to find the body and go into the past.
So with every timeline kind of stuff, it's always someone's trying to manipulate it for their reasons. The others are trying to manipulate it for their reasons. Jonas wants to do it to stop all those reasons from happening again, kind of thing. So she's trying to make it do something different to what Noah wants it to do. Isn't that what's happening?
I think that Noah's Bartosz. He's from like grown up Bartosz, and he obviously it's an apocalypse situation in his timeline. So I don't know if he becomes a priest to get power because he says he doesn't believe in God, or if the whole apocalypse thing makes him not believe in God, but then he decides to try to fix it or try to destroy everything. Try to become God. I think he's trying to become God.
Which might be the same kind of outcome.
Yeah, and Claudia's obviously trying to do the opposite. But his back has the tattoo from Mikkel's hospital. And it's in Mikkel's room, and Mikkel's holding it.
So someone's been there before, kind of thing, is what you're saying. And left.
Well, I don't understand unless
those. I tell you what, those are very good observations. That's what they are, don't you think, Michael?
I think so.
Yeah.
He's lost me.
Do you have any other questions, Lee? I know you've been doing a lot of research, and I've been asking lots of questions. Did you have some things on your mind that you wanted to ask the newbies?
No, I don't think so. I'm just enjoying enjoying all the theories.
What do we think happens to Ulrich trapped in the past?
I hope
He can
dies.
rot in hell.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay, Cass wants him dead. Okay.
So does Nelly.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, he's a piece of
Just
shit.
deserves.
Yeah, I was really happy when he started getting beaten. It was great.
I'm
what's
not
with
all for brutality, but if they can just let him stew in his own juices, it'd be good.
That was only 10 years after the end of World War II, so I imagine that some of those cops were probably Nazis.
And if there's one thing money can buy you, it's some Nazis to beat someone up.
They actually
Indiana
invited.
Jones and tortoise.
They brought the parent, Helge's dad, in to help with the beating, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, he turned up and basically he has the money. He's building a nuclear plant. He's got all the money already. So
yeah.
So
I
they're
like
going to have to listen to him.
They made Egon watch, so he was complicit in it.
Mm.
Yeah. Whether he physically did it or not, he was there not stopping it, basically, so that they're all in cahoots and no one would rat out, because I'm pretty sure police brutality wasn't allowed even then.
Then 33 years later, he's just grumpy at someone named Ulrich for no reason.
Yeah, funny that.
Yeah.
I'm really interested to know, you know how when that first night when Mikkel goes missing, which presumably we still don't know even if Noah does take him but loses him in the cave, but then he makes his way to the past anyway, or if he just accidentally ends up there. But remember Jonas sees his dad all covered in black stuff, and he keeps having these visions of people in black stuff, and I want to know what that's about.
And right at the end of episode 10, when he's sitting with the suitcase too, wasn't it?
Yeah, and I think he sees Mikkel, because Mikkel's hand comes over his shoulder. And I can't remember if Mikkel has black stuff on him. But yeah. So what's the black stuff? Is it the stuff from the yellow tubs?
Cesium, the cesium.
Cesium.
Yeah.
And
their narrative way of saying this is what's going on in his head kind of thing. He's saying, I'm doing this for you kind of thing. By giving it a physical representation in the video, the movie kind of thing.
So what do we think about the first scene with Mikkel where he's doing a magic trick and he does the whole 3 cups with the toy in them trick to his dad, and Ulrich says, "Oh, how did you do that?" And he says, "It's not how, it's when." He's giving the whole game away straight away.
His own foreshadowing.
Yeah. But imagine being...
I didn't pick that up the second time either, though.
Imagine being Michael, knowing that because it's a small town, surely he knows Mikkel. Their families know each other, right?
Yeah, his wife is sleeping.
Yeah. So he must know Mikkel. So he clearly knows that Mikkel is going to go missing, and he knows that this Mikkel is him. So he could have stopped it.
Yeah.
But he chose not to.
And that's why he says in the note, don't open the note until this time and day.
So no one else can stop it. Yeah.
And it's right after Mikkel goes missing. So yeah, he 100% knows it's going to happen. And he knows his son is involved in it.
Did Michael write the note then, or did Jonas write the note? Because Jonas knows more and wants things to not be changed.
We see
him write it.
We see him finishing the note, the envelope.
Interesting questions, huh?
Do you think Jonas recognized his own handwriting on the box that he got from himself?
That's a good question.
I think his handwriting would have changed too much in 33 years.
Yeah.
Mine still looks atrocious.
My handwriting is the same now as it did maybe not 33 years ago. But
I think mine's worse now because I never do it.
I don't think a teenager would think about it, honestly.
Especially a boy teenager.
Yeah.
Wow.
My boy teenager wouldn't. Yeah.
So any other predictions?
Other than I'm slightly hungry because I had lunch late and now I'm having dinner late.
What about Katie? She's muted at the moment. Do we have any predictions from Katie?
She hasn't been paying attention because she's been trying to figure out how to put a camera on her phone.
That's okay. Don't worry about the camera. That's all good.
I can see Lee now, though. So,
oh really?
One camera works, one doesn't.
Oh, I can't.
Oh yay! I can see Lee now. Yay!
Oh yeah, there you are.
That was a try again button I had to click. There you go.
Yeah.
I don't have any predictions that I can remember. Sadly.
Yeah.
Are you going to pick a side?
Oh, what was the side that I'm picking from?
Noah or Claudia?
Oh, Claudia.
So far, Claudia hasn't, zapped the eye right out of the sockets of several children.
Yeah.
I just
want someone else to kidnap multiple children. Good start.
I just want to point out a comment that Sian said as well about the machine is designed to move people through time. I just want to say those tests have been successful.
Nothing to do with the fact that what it's sitting on top of.
No, I mean there was nothing in the notes about them surviving. Okay.
Without getting into details, I want to know how much Nelly and Sian think they remember about season 2, or do you think
nothing.
It's basically new to you? Or
Yeah, because again, my brain for this kind of stuff is like when I read books. Within a week, I have mentally dumped a good 90% of it, kind of thing.
Yeah.
It's just how my short term works for that kind of entertainment thing.
Hi, Bunyip.
But I think I messaged you the one thing I remember that I thought happened in this season, but obviously now happens in season 2. Hey, Katie.
Hey, Katie.
If you remember what I texted you,
remember
Michael.
that we spend more time in the past. The old timies.
Yeah.
I remember maybe one
don't
or
say
two other things, but nothing like really detailed.
That's funny. I remember everything.
Yeah, don't you wish you could forget it, Ben, so you could watch it again?
I do honestly wish I could forget it and watch it fresh again. It's so great. So in my opinion, I don't know how anyone else feels. In my opinion, season 2 is the highlight of this whole show.
I don't have an opinion on that yet.
So I
also,
Michael
one of the things
about
that happens
Ulrich.
in the old timey is that some people talk to each other, Cass. Or at least I assume that talking is evolved as well. So
Like talking as in like...
Information sharing? Is that what you're saying?
Kind of.
God, I hope so. I really need some people to start. I don't know. I just think you get a lot when people like are trying to work things out together, I guess, in that, buddy cop kind of way. I don't know. I don't really understand a lot of the time where people are going or what they're trying to do until they get there and they do it. I just kind of wish that I had a bit of an insight into how people are thinking and feeling
talking about it.
and what they're predicting is going on. Yeah, because they're not talking about it. So, yeah, it'd be cool if, like, Charlotte and Peter would fucking converse. Or, like, even the kids, like, the crazy hair boy and science girl. Yes,
So do you mean the dramatic hair boy?
Yeah, the Final Fantasy hair boy.
Magnus hasn't rated a mention until now.
Well, he doesn't do much, really. He just stalks the poor redheaded girl until they start sleeping together, and then they both drop off the face of the earth.
I actually think that's probably the weirdest thing about the whole season. That relationship, for me at least, just came out of nowhere.
Yeah.
I think surely there must have been some slow boil going on in the high school kind of thing.
They both smoke. We saw that early.
Yeah. But yeah, it'd just be cool if, like, especially if Jonas had someone that he could talk to, so that, because obviously he's driving a lot of the story, and it's like, yeah, other than himself.
He thought about talking to his mum.
That would have been interesting.
He tried talking to his mum multiple times. Actually, Cass, you must really like those dramas where people are like getting into a relationship and then there's a misunderstanding, but they don't talk to each other and tell each other what the problem is, and then it just goes on for like 10 episodes. You must love that, right?
No, it's the worst. The miscommunication trope is the worst. Yeah,
especially in books and stuff. I don't finish those books.
Yeah, no. As soon as that's the main like drama in a relationship, I hate it so much, and I do not finish that book.
I'm exactly the same.
Yeah.
I agree with you, Ben, that watching season 2, like, I was kind of really impressed at how much they had obviously planned. Like I sort of said in one of our threads, that at the end of season 1, like, I was a little bit worried actually, because I don't really love sci-fi. We sort of finish sort of going off into a post-apocalyptic sort of future that doesn't appeal to me at all. And I don't really love time travel stuff either, and yet I like Dark and I like where season 2 goes. And just being, really impressed by how much work they put in. It's like it's nothing like a show where season 1 is successful and they do 2. Like, there's so much put in place, and so many times in season 2 where you go, oh wow, that's what they were doing in season 1.
Yeah,
so
that's really cool. I'm excited.
Yeah. Can I ask a question that may have already been discussed when I was having issues, and you may have already talked about it? But the kids, so Erik, Yasin, and Mads, I know that all their bodies have been found as children in another time. Well, I guess Mads came back. But
he came forward.
They still be
Mads came forward. The other two.
So they did time travel
back to the future.
Could they still be a character in the show, or because their child self died?
Yeah, good question.
They don't exist anymore.
No, well, since you can have two Jonases, I imagine you can have two of anyone.
Yeah.
So one can be dead and one can be alive.
Mads was one of the current characters.
Okay.
But how can you have
I have no theory on
adulthood if you don't have a childhood?
How can you have two notes existing at once?
Yeah, in fact, did we cover the timeline of the note? Because they're early on, Jonas burns the note.
Yeah, we did.
But then we see it again.
The note he gives himself, and then he gets it from Innes,
Yeah, so there's actually 3 notes in circulation. The one he gets that he burns, then he gets the same note again, and then the original note.
No, he only gets it twice.
He gets
I hadn't thought about it like that, but...
Oh, my mistake. Sorry.
But I don't want to say you're wrong either.
Mikkel writes the note, Innes takes it before anyone else can see it. And then old Jonas gives the same note to young Jonas. Young Jonas burns that. Then young Jonas gets the note from Innes that he then gives his future self.
Okay. Well, younger self, but yep, I get you.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, geez, that note does the rounds.
Another question on the kid front, like Mads showing up from the 80s. Does that mean he has been dead from the 80s and his body has just shown up? Like they use them once to do the time travel and then they die?
Because remember what the coroner said? She said that he'd only been dead for a certain amount of hours, but everything on him is from the 80s.
Yeah, he's still warm when he comes through the rift.
Okay, I don't know. My head hurts.
And Nelly's getting hungry.
Yeah, Nelly is getting quite hungry.
We should do this again at the end of season 2.
We should.
You definitely. I can guarantee you guys are definitely going to want to do this at the end of season 2.
Cool.
I'll put another thread up on Thursday for episode 1, season 2. Everybody else watching the video will have to wait till we're finished with season 2.
Yeah. Good luck.
That was fun.
I'll keep up this time, watching it each week.
Although binging right at the end actually would work better for me, because I think I started watching episode 6, and then at the end of episode 6 I'm like, I can't stop there. So then I watched all of them till 9, and then I watched 10 with everybody else.
I just didn't get to chat in the chats with everybody. I just added nipple comments.
Well, I didn't stop Sian.
Did you say nipple? You said nipple comments.
Yeah.
Not Mikkel.
I also didn't want to say anything after I'd watched each episode because I couldn't remember when I figured things out. When I figured out Mikkel and Michael were the same person, and when Jonas was the stranger, I couldn't remember exactly when I had figured that out, so I didn't want to put anything in there, even though I watched it.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I didn't figure any of that out for myself.
So so Nelly, had you figured out that Mikkel and Michael were the same person before we found out in the letter that they were the same person?
Yeah, don't you remember the conversation? And you saying, wow, that's a statement.
Yeah, I think Nelly and I were talking about it while we watched it in the first episode or second episode.
Yeah.
Katie and I were pretty
figure it out
then.
pretty quickly.
Yeah.
But I think I mean, you were definitely cluey, so not taking that away. But I think it was helping that we were kind of talking and
nudging
prompting things after each episode, and you had the ability to talk to each other about it. That kind
Honestly, Ben did not help or prompt.
No, Ben did nothing.
I was like, that's interesting.
He's very good at being a soundless sounding board.
Yeah.
It's like during Twin Peaks. Drives me insane. I don't like Ben during this time.
Anyway,
right,
my head's getting itchy now too, so...
That's a definite sign of hunger.
We're done.
And wearing a wool beanie,
Fox.
Okay, good luck in season 2, guys.
Thank you.
Thanks, everyone. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.